Good Shabbos, everybody. You got a Sidura prayer book. Turn all the way to the back to page 36. That's where you'll find these words. Ooh. I'm like a total mess over here. You can't see it. It's all under my feet. There's an iPad down there. There's a phone down there. There are some old papers down there.
Do you want some support?
No, I'm okay. I just kicked it all away.
Good.
That's what you do on Shabbos. You kick it away. Just create space amid the chaos. That's the segue I was looking for. Good Shabbos, everybody. Welcome.
Good Shabbos.
I want to invite all of us, myself most included, to take a deep breath, sit up a little bit straighter, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, exhale. And then inhale again so that you can exhale for twice as long. And take a couple breaths in this posture, giving yourself permission to clear the decks, clear it all away. Whatever stress or anxiety you walked in with, it won't completely disappear with a few deep breaths, but you can get the work started. And just begin to exhale the week that has been. Take your time. Welcome to this Erev Shabbat, this Erev Valentine's Day, which, you know, it's a day to reconnect with the heart, with what we love, with what animates us and lights us up. There's a line when we say Kiddush later, you know, when we raise a glass and honor the day, you know, sanctify the Shabbos day. There's a line in it, and listen for it. We say, Be'ahava uvratzon, that Shabbat is this day that we celebrate with love and with desire. And so I want to invite you to think for a moment about what desire, what heart-centered motivation brought you in here tonight. And just affirm that that's what you're here for. Maybe at this Shabbos, but possibly in this world, to cultivate that. Yeah, I really feel like there's a thirst that brings me here every week that gets quenched doing exactly what we're doing. Singing, making harmony, learning together, studying together, praying together, hearing smart people talk about interesting things, and there will be 2 interesting smart people speaking tonight, at least, in addition to myself and Rabbi Stephen. You know, part of that thirst, honestly, is like to just really imagine that the world is a good place. And, you know, Shabbat, we say, is Me'ein Olam Haba. That's, has anybody ever heard that before? Me'ein Olam Haba. It means a little taste of the world that could be, the world to come. And that it's really, really important to create spaces and have spaces where you can remember what you feel like in that world. Not frazzled and stressed and angry, and where when somebody asks you, how are you, you say, well, the world's on fire, but I'm okay, you know? But like actually you say, the world is a good place and I'm a good person and all is right in the world with me and with the world. Like, could you imagine? But the idea is on Shabbat, you try to imagine it. You try to imagine it. What would be if all were right in the world? And don't say, no ice. Say something positive. Just shout it out. Like, what would be in the world if all were right in the world? Abundance for all. What'd you say? Respect. Kindness. Everybody actually matters. A roof over everybody's head. Food in everybody's belly. Healthcare for all. Respect and autonomy for our bodies. What did you say? Everyone has time and resources to make art.
Hallelujah.
Oh, so good. So good. All right. So this is what we try to reconnect with on this day. And then we try to bring this, like we try to hold this in this heart of ours and bring it out into the world, because a lot of people need to be reminded of this vision. It's not just that we're working against things. We need to be looking forward and working for all of that goodness. And so we try to create a little space, a little corner of the world, a little mishkan that looks like that one day a week, lest we forget that it's possible and that it is. Is there anybody who's here at Mishkan for the first time tonight? Yay, you get a round of applause. Congratulations. Welcome. Welcome. So glad you're here. You'll get a chance later to introduce yourself. But now I want to invite us to turn to page 2 in your Siddur. As I said, we got a lot of interesting people and things happening in here tonight. So before we hear it and do it, we're going to open up some good harmony and heart space with song. Start with Lichu. It means move, pivot, reorient. Lichu, Lichu. You could just do that the whole song, or you could sing with me. Let's try that again. Want to invite you to turn to page 5. Top of 5.
Or Zaru ala tzadik, Zaru ala tzadik.
Or Zaru ala tzadik, Zaru ala tzadik.
Or Zaru ala tzadik, Zaru ala tzadik.
Turn to the bottom of 6. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'yishachavu lehar kosho, Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. I want to invite folks to stand with me. On 7. Somebody turn down the heat. Okay, somebody's working on it. Great, just so you know. All right. Amazing. We could take a seat. Bottom of 7. Woo. Debbie, you're on deck. You're on deck. On deck. Okay. Bottom of 7. Free those who are bound. Havelina, see our beauty. Purify us. Pass the mic over to Debbie Stern over here, who needs a podium. She needs a stand. What? Just use. Can you use this? Do you want me to put down a white for you? Oh, please don't. No, okay, but I'll stand here. If you need me to be, I will be.
We use this mic.
Amazing.
Be careful.
Pick up my water bottle. Just next to me. All right,
We
Deb,
got
you
this.
got
We
this.
got this.
All right. This is a little intro to Lachado D here.
Yeah. And
Elaborate.
the Erev Valentine's Day speech. Okay. Woo! So, there are some kids here, but how many of you
Wait. No, you need this.
Oh, sorry.
Folks online need to hear.
Oh,
everybody
sorry.
needs to hear you.
All right.
Do you want to hold the mic in front of your? Will you,
No.
You want to move?
No, I'm fine. I think. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Anybody here? No. Oh, sorry.
I love you. You need to use this. Yes.
Have any of you heard? No, I can't. I need my hands. Sorry. Have any of you heard about 6-7? What does it mean? Anybody? 6-7. Well, this has been going on for months. It's probably over by now. But no. I finally had to pay attention to it, even though everybody said it was nonsense. I looked it up online. It is? Wow. Well, actually, I think the kids have tapped into a really important message of hope, because 6-7 actually reflects the condition of the world right now, but offers us a solution. So that's what this talk is going to be about. How do we find out the meaning? 6 and 7 are very important numbers Kabbalistically. Kabbalah is the Jewish mystical tradition. And many of us right now are experiencing the world as very dark and chaotic. But that's the way it all began, right? At the beginning, tohu vavohu, everything was chaos. So I like to think that this time is a very specific message to us. How did creation begin? Let there be light. And for 6 days, there was active creation. God said, let there be, let there be, let there be. And then what happened? On the 7th day, we have 6, right? And the 7th day was Shabbat, right? 6, 7. Duh. So the act of giving and creating is an outwardly directed energy, and that is considered masculine, yang, in the Eastern traditions. And receptive energy, the feminine, the dark, yin, in Eastern traditions, is Shabbat, is the 7, and they balance each other out. And no matter what your gender is, we both have opposites in ourselves. We have masculine and feminine, giving and receiving. We have opposites. In Hebrew, letters have numerical values. We all know this, do we? Do we know this?
Now we do.
Okay. All right, and they're based on the position in the alphabet. So the first letter, Aleph, is 1, right? Aleph, it is said, asked God, because it was the first letter, if it could be the first letter in the Torah. And God said, what do you think God said? You all know the beginning of the Torah. God said, no. Sorry. What is the first letter of the Torah? Bet. And bet is 2. Because in its essence, the Torah and Kabbalah are about relationship. In fact, you might think the most common word in the Torah is one of the many names of God, because there are a lot of names of God. What is the most common word in the Torah? Anybody know? The most common word in the Torah, oh, Lizzie knows, sorry, is va, right, it's va. What does va mean? And. It's all about relationship. So, in Kabbalah, words have numerical values based on adding together the letters that make up the word. And when 6, representing the masculine, the giving, and 7, representing the feminine, come together in balance, they add to 13. Okay. This is all of us, right? You can hold it. Vanna, thank you, Vanna. Okay. Yeah, you can have a sign. 13 is a very interesting number in Hebrew. Anybody know why? 13 is the gematria of ahava, love. Ooh. It's also the gematria of 1, echad. So, what is the lesson here? The lesson is that the more you can integrate and connect the opposites within you, the more love you create and the more whole you are, right? The conflicts in the world right now can be seen as 6s and 7s, opposites pitted against each other, us against them, whoever they may be. I think of this conflict actually as the labor pains creating the new world order, just like in Breshit. The chaos became something much more unchaotic. Unsustainable institutions are falling apart, and divisions between people based on religion, property, power, land, whatever, they seem insurmountable. And yet, there is another important message the kids have been demonstrating, and the solution also lies in their hands, because when a 13 of love meets another 13 of love, Michael, where are you? We get 26. Michael is 26, and I told him he was going to love this talk. All right, so what is 26? Anybody know? 26 is the value of Yud He Vav He. Oh, whoa, yes. Okay, you can hold that one. So, when a 13 of love meets another 13 of love, sorry, here we go. What do we get? We get God. God is the connection of love and love. Our wholeness meeting another wholeness, right? Because we are all connected. Thank you. So it's very interesting because I thought, well, you know, I wonder how many letters there are in the Shema. So one day I was sitting at services and I started counting. There were 25. So then I started counting again. But I counted from the back to the middle and the front to the middle, creating 13. And what is the letter in the middle? The letter in the middle is Aleph. And why is this significant? Where is my Aleph sign? What happened? Wait, I haven't. Where's 6? Here it is. All right, are you ready for this? Woo, I don't know. This is a lot of stuff. Here's Aleph. Aleph is actually a yin-yang symbol. Yes, because this is not just one letter, it's considered in Kabbalah to be the union of 3 letters. Yud on top, Yud on bottom, and a Vav that separates them. So, the Yud on the top, heaven, Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Yud on the bottom, the Shekhinah, the divine feminine, the Vav connecting and separating them. But when you add up Yud, and Vav, you get 26. And that's the middle of the Shema. So the Shema creates an infinity sign of love. Yes. So every time we say the Shema, we're actually creating that mystery. And the mystery behind the Shema is that heaven and earth are actually one. And we are trying to unite with them ourselves. And singing Ana B'Koach, which we just did, is also a 6/7. Did you know that? Did anybody ever count the letters in the lines? I had no idea about Ana B'Koach until I did 3 years of Jewish shamanic training. Ana B'Koach is an acronym for the 42-letter name of God. I bet you didn't even know there was a 42-letter name of God. There are a lot of names, 72, 42. In any case, each line, there are 7 lines with 6 words in each line. So the whole thing is 42. And it precedes L'chadodi, which is the returning of the Shekhinah to be with the Kadosh Baruch Hu on Shabbat. So, whoa. So even though the kids thought it was really nonsense, it was far from it. And by the way, today is 2/13. Whoa! So Shabbat Shalom.
Debbie Stern, everyone. All right. All right. Well, L'chadodi is on page 8. Hopefully your mind isn't too blown to continue with the service. Woo! Let's see. Shabbat lechu v'necha ki hi mekor ha'bracha merosh mikedem nesucha soma aseh machshava tila ay lecha dodi ay likrat kala ay bnei Shabbat nekabela mikdash melech ir melucha mitzeim mitoch ha'afecha ra'alach shevet behem mekabacha ve'hu yachamol alayich chemla ay lecha dodi ay likrat kala ay bnei Shabbat bottom of eight hitoreri ki ba'orech kumi uri shir daveri kivod Adonai alayich nigla ay lecha dodi ay likrat kala ay bnei Shabbat nekabela lo tevushi velo tikami ma tishtochachi u'ma tehemi ay b'har yachesu ani eyami v'nivneta עיר עתילה ay lecha dodi ay likrat kala bnei Shabbat nekabela v'hayu l'mshisa Shabbosai v'rachaku kol mevalai yasis alayich Elohai kibzot hatan achala likrat kala bnei Shabbat Vem partir all back to those images of abundance and joy and openness and care that we tapped back into at the beginning of this night, and invited into this room and into ourselves to breathe it in, to come in peace, Boi v'shalom, with the Shabbos queen who walks through that door, who kind of floats in the open door. We welcome her. Boi v'shalom, hateret bala, kam besimcha,
Here's the ending. If you see a kid doing this, tell them it is time for their fingers to connect into a heart and send those hearts out into the world.
I'm noticing, Rebecca, you're here tonight. The last time you were here, your father was in this world. Since then, he has died. Has there been is there anybody else in this room who is recently missing someone? Just suffering a recent loss? Anybody online? So we take this moment after Lecha Dodi, after this poem that is a tribute to love, to say these words. They're at the bottom of page 9. Hamakom yenachem etchem betoch sha'ar avlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the Holy One comfort you among all of the mourners of our people in this loss, and may you feel His love and presence, and our love and presence embracing you. And we can take a seat. Shabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. It is good to be grateful. This is that moment when you just take a moment to think about what in your own life you are feeling just a ton of gratitude for. Say thank you out loud. Time is now. Page 11.
צדיק קטן יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה.
Together.
שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ברעננים יהיו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ברעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר השם, צורי ולא תבוא, להגיד כי ישר השם, צורי ולא תבוא, צדיק התמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ברעננים יהיו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ברעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר השם, צורי ולא עוולה תבוא, להגיד כי ישר השם, צורי ולא עוולה
Yeah, Benji wrote that one.
Shabbat shalom, folks.
Shabbos, Rabbi Stephen.
I'm Rabbi Stephen.
Hello.
This is Rabbi Lizzie.
Hello.
This is our amazing davening team. That specifically is Benji, the one who wrote that song, in case you're wondering who Lizzie was referring to. And you're all here. We're so glad you're here. Both folks who've been here a million times over, which we're grateful you're back, because you are Mishkan, and also the brand new faces. And I saw some brand new faces. You already outed yourselves. And now we're going to have you introduce yourselves, mostly so we can shower you with love and affection and welcome, both during the service and afterwards when we're all schmoozing and enjoying snacks and drinks and refreshments. So if you were one of those people who raised your hand earlier, I would love for you to raise your body as you're able. And you're just going to introduce yourself, say your name, where you're from, like what neighborhood, make some neighborhood connections, and maybe in one sentence or even a word, what brought you to Mishkan?
Hey, hello.
My name is Jules. I'm from New York City. I go to school with Noah Sternfried here, and I love her very much, and she brought me here today.
Any other Northwestern people or grads in the house? A few. A few.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, hey. Yes.
Leah Josephson. We came down from Highland Park to be with our son Ari, who's been coming to Mishkan for about a year now, he said? Yeah, okay.
Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We love Ari very much. Anybody else? There were definitely
more,
okay. I was like,
there
there
were
were people over here. Like,
Yes.
yeah, gonna stand on up. Yeah, name, where you're coming from, and
Hi,
what brought
Bruce
you here.
and Lisa, and we live in Lincoln Park, and we're somewhat new to Chicago, just in the past year, and coming to see what Mishkan's all about. What's that? Oh, we moved here because we have one daughter who had one child, so we have a granddaughter here. So that's
Amazing. Amazing.
Wonderful.
Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Thanks
Well,
for checking
where'd
us
you come
out.
from?
Hope to see you again.
Virginia Beach. All right. Here, are you standing?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Watiz. I am a proud Southside native. I live in Woodlawn.
All right.
And I was invited here by Sarah, so very thrilled to be here with you all.
All
We're
right.
so glad you're here. Thanks for coming on up.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from the South Loop, and I was invited to experience and enjoy Mishkan by Sam, Ben, and Becca.
We're so glad you're here. Okay, we're gonna do like Olympic torch style. Great. Yes, very thematic.
My name is Marty. This is my wife, Nancy, who's not standing. And we are from Wilmette, and we're friends with the Schumans, who've been asking us for the last 10 years to join them on a Friday night. So this is our lucky night.
Well, we hope you'll come back sooner than 10 years from now.
Yeah. Lucky night indeed. All right, wait, pass this over to Sam yonder.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Sam. I'm from the Ravenswood area, and I'm here because my partner brought me.
Amazing. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Anybody else? So you can also pass it back to me.
Oh, wait, one more.
No,
Nope.
no, we know you.
Yeah, long time.
Long time. Well, we do hope, whether you're new or old, first time, 100th time, that you'll come back and hang out with us some more. We are on a pretty regular Shabbat rotation, alternating Friday nights, Saturday mornings. We'll be together again in a week's time on Saturday. But then the week after that, I believe we're not having services on our normal rotation because it will be Purim, which is really exciting. If you are, I feel like there's some people here in this room. If you're part of our Spiel team or any of like the preparation, Megillah readers who are making Purim happen, can you raise your hands? Look at that. This is a good crew. Yeah, but let's clap them up. One of the most amazing things about Mishkan's Purim is that this whole production happens that is led by our staff and our amazing lay leaders. And like Rabbi Lizzie and I show up and are like, there's an entire holiday happening.
That we had nothing to do with.
That we had nothing to do with. They like give us like maybe a minute to say some nice things, and they're like, okay, Rabbi, sit down again.
We play an important function, which is that people make fun of us mercilessly.
Exactly. We also have a bunch of fun programming around our teens. We have our family Purim as well. It'll be the same weekend as Purim, and there's a lot of stuff. Check out our newsletter. Check out our calendar to take a look at everything that is happening around the holiday of Purim, which is mostly concentrated within that weekend. Except you could come hang out with me about a week earlier, and we'll be gathering to bake some hamantashen together in like a real like industrial kitchen, which is gonna be super fun. And they'll hopefully be they will be tasty. I cannot promise they'll be well formed, but they will be edible and they'll be delicious. And that's truly what matters. Even before that, come join us next week, next Thursday. We're really excited to welcome back like an old Mishkanite, quite young in age, but belonged to Mishkan many, many years ago. Alex Feder, who is now the regional director of EcoPeace, which is a Nobel Peace Prize nominated organization that brings together Israelis, Palestinians, and Jordanians around climate change initiatives. They'll be coming here to the office next Thursday. It's going to be a really amazing time to connect with an organization doing essential work on so many fronts. Anything else I'm missing?
You know what? Just because Ronan is right in my line of sight,
Yes.
Ronan has taken it upon themselves to create awesome mishloach manot, which are the gifts that we give each other on Purim. It is a mitzvah to give your friends stuff and food and give goodie bags to your community. And it's also a little fundraiser that we do every year. And so you can help sponsor the Mishloach Manot effort. And we are looking for what? 12 more holy souls. Yeah, and so, and you'll get, like, everybody will get a little card inside of the Mishloach Manot, which includes food and cute stickers and other cute items and things, not crap you want to throw away, but actually like cute stuff you want to hold on to. And there'll be a little card inside that says who all the sponsors were and that you were part of giving this effort to your community members. So if you want to do that, find Ronan tonight and Ronan will, will send you whatever you need to do that.
And if you're wondering, like, why do we do this? Like, one of the things that Purim teaches us is that an essential way that we as Jews and Jewish adjacent folks respond to a world turned upside down is by giving food and care to our friends and loved ones, by taking care of those in need, and then, of course, in a few weekends by coming together to celebrate
Partying
and create
hard.
space for joy.
Yes.
Exactly, partying hard.
Yes.
A lot of small groups to connect with, a lot of stuff through Maggie's Place, our holistic wellness center, including, is there space tomorrow for
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, never mind. We have great programs. Sometimes they fill up. I'm sorry. Which means you should get on our newsletter if you're curious as what's happening. If you're not on it already, there's a QR code in the lobby.
I'm teaching a class about Esther that has its second and third meeting next week and the week after. But if you missed the first session, which many people did, we recorded it. We recorded it so that you can catch up. And if you listen to it and you learn, for example, how the genres of burlesque, satire, farce, comedy, and I'm missing one, but show up in the Megillah. If you're curious about all that, listen to the podcast on Contact Chai and then show up for classes 2 and 3. Yeah.
You heard it. You heard it here.
Yes.
That one is not closed. You can join that one.
Yeah.
So come learn with us, come hang out with us, all good things. Should we do some more davening? Yeah? So if you haven't met our amazing pre-rabbinic intern, Emma, she will be leading us in Mariv. I invite you to rise as you're able. We are on page 13.
Before Emma takes us into that, where's Michael? Can you just wave your hand over there? Before services started tonight, Michael led a group of people from Beguile Brewery over here who all had shown up to learn about volunteering at Mishkan, about what that might look like. If you are curious, if you weren't there but are curious to know how you might help, with your smile, your friendliness, your extroversion, maybe your introversion, what you might do if you don't like talking to people but want to help, talk to Michael. Michael would love to help hook you up with a way to deploy your talents to support community. We all need something to give us a sense of purposefulness, and helping do that is something we can all do. So anyway, thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. I invite you to face east, which is that way.
That way.
You can face
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch et
Take a
Adonai
seat.
Elohim
Baruch
melech
atah Adonai Elohim
Ma b'tech Sherim.
מבטח שערים ונשמנה ושנים מסדר את הכוכבים ומשמעתם
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו
El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah
Adonai, Hamariv Haravim.
14, Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael and כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגי יומם ולילה לבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
In general, the custom is to cover or close your eyes while saying the Shema, but just based on what Devi said earlier, I have this compulsion to hold my 6-7 heart fingers like over my entire face. So if you want to do that, just to embody all the love that's in these 6 words, inside of which is that Aleph connecting heaven and earth and opposites and masculine and feminine and all of God's disparate parts into one moment of oneness, one love, you know, you do you.
Shema. Israel. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
It's on page 18.
Emet v'on. Em Adonai Eloheinu. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל ולך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא ותחרו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זה לי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב קולו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
I spent the first part of this week at the Trua National Convening. Trua is an organization of rabbis and cantors, used to be called Rabbis for Human Rights of North America, and then they changed their name to a good Hebrew word that means blast. Trua, you know, the blast of the shofar. That's the idea, but that's still what it is. That's still what they stand for. And it was me and 140 other Jewish clergy talking about, you know, the trends of authoritarianism and Christian nationalism and anti-Semitism and, you know, just stuff rabbis want to talk about, you know. But I have to say, it was actually really nice to be with a group of, you know, sort of like-minded comrades and friends, colleagues from across the country. And the conference concluded with an action outside of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, their office in Washington, D.C. And people brought shofars, and they brought signs, and stood outside and blew those shofars and gave speeches in megaphones. And coinciding with this, actually, was the announcement by Tom Homan that they're going to end the siege in Minnesota. Coincidence? Definitely a coincidence, but but it was nice. But it was nice to feel the feeling of, you know, like rabbis were out there because it feels, you know, we feel like we need to do something, say something in the face of what feels very wrong, and yet you don't always know. You don't see the results of your work most times. You know, activists spend a long, long time being involved in one cause, trying to make a difference, and you're lucky if you see results over years, you know? And so to even have the glimmer of a feeling that protest, that raising your voice makes a difference, it makes a difference. And so, you know, as we go into this prayer, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom, God, lie the people we love down in peace, raise them up again to life renewed. We pray this every night for the people we love who need a prayer. And we don't know. We don't know where those prayers go. We don't know if it works. But maybe the prayer plus the calling, plus the checking in, plus all the friends and family of the people we love and care about calling and checking in, plus their medical teams, plus the medication, plus whatever it is that helps the people we love feel supported, maybe those prayers actually make a difference. And so I want to invite us tonight to hope and pray for the people we love who need a prayer, because maybe it makes a difference, you know? So just take a moment now, close your eyes if it helps to sort of think about your Rolodex of friends, family, people, places who are struggling, who are suffering, who need a hand, who need to be reminded they matter, people struggling with mental and physical health, people struggling to get pregnant or stay sober, people scared tonight, people who don't know where their next meal or rent will come from, people who are afraid of being separated from their families. people who don't know if they're going to be okay. Just take a moment to think about who your heart just wants to send love to tonight. And, you know, you can open your eyes, and on the count of 3, let's just all say all of the names and the people and the places that we're thinking about. And maybe, just maybe, it makes a difference. 1, 2, 3. Baby Gilbert. Refuah Shlema. We're down toward the bottom of Hashkivenu. Shmor Tzedkeinu Vo'einu. Shmor Tzedkeinu Vo'einu. Shmor Tzedkeinu Vo'einu. Shmor Tzedkeinu Vo'einu. V'chayimu l'shalom. Ve'ata ve'ad olam.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה. יעמד יברך וירטה וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וימיכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגאולה ובזמן קריב יאמרו. All together, יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם עולם. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו Amidah begins on 21, goes 21 till about 28 or so. We do it personally and privately. You can take this time to use the words in the book or to pray the words on your heart. The custom is to take 3 steps backwards and then 3 steps forwards to kind of just enter a new prayer space for these next few moments of quiet. So this Shabbat around the country tonight is called Repro Shabbat. It takes place every year on the Torah portion in which we find the textual foundation for Judaism's approach to reproductive health, which is this week, in this week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, to reproductive health, rights, and justice. For centuries, Jewish scholars have interpreted the verses in this Torah portion to establish that pregnancy, sacred, important, and when wanted, is celebrated. And there is no notion in Jewish tradition of fetal personhood. It's just worth saying, like, there is a significant difference between basic Jewish understandings of what pregnancy is from conception forward, and some of the traditions driving the effort to outlaw and prohibit abortion in this country. And I should just say, this is what we're talking about in our drash tonight. So if anybody's sort of like, oof, too intense for me, this has been a beautiful service. Now you feel free to. And it's really important that we talk about this as a Jewish spiritual community. Jews have, as long as the tradition has been around, we believe that the life of the woman or pregnant person, whenever it is threatened in any way, which includes financially, emotionally, or physically, by the prospect of pregnancy, our tradition actually supports her in ending it if she needs to. This year, 2,500 Jewish spiritual communities around the country are going to be talking about this issue tonight. As the Trump regime accelerates attacks on reproductive rights, including abortion, not just the overturning of Roe v. Wade, but a whole host of ways actually that I was not even aware of until I read Sarah's notes. She's gonna tell us a little bit more about what is actually happening out there. So before any of this was happening, Repro Shabbat became a thing. The National Council of Jewish Women wanted communities to talk about it because as long as there has been access to reproductive rights in this country, it has also been threatened. And so the invitation is for all of us to just talk about tonight this issue as a Jewish imperative and to build sustained resistance to protect reproductive health care, including abortion. Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court decision federally protecting the right to abortion, was passed in 1973. And in 1975, Illinois actually passed one of the most restrictive bills that was like a trigger bill that if Roe v. Wade would be overturned, Illinois would become a state in which abortion was outlawed and doctors would be prosecuted with felonies. That was Illinois in 1975. And in 1978, the organization that Sarah is the president and CEO of, Personal PAC, was created by a Jewish woman, right? She wasn't Jewish, but a lot of people. Okay, great. All right, I don't want to spread misinformation. Okay, and it is because of this organization, Personal PAC, that Illinois has become the state that it is a safe haven for people from across the country seeking to get the reproductive health care they need, including abortions. So Sarah Garza-Resnick is the president and CEO of Personal PAC, is also on Mishkan's board, and you may remember her from speaking at High Holidays and doing our Yom Kippur pitch. I asked if she would kind of give us a state of reproductive rights tonight for Repro Shabbat. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, so nobody gets too happy when I talk, but you're gonna learn a lot. I'm also just gonna be really honest that when Kamala lost the 2024 election, I was not okay for a while. I'm still not okay, and I have decided to use my bully pulpit to be a radical truth teller in the world, and sometimes that means that my emotions show up because I'm a little overwhelmed, and today is just one of those days where my nervous system is having a really hard time regulating. So I'm just being honest. And thank you for giving me grace. So Andrea Gibson's one of my favorite poets, and she wrote, "Even when the truth isn't hopeful, the telling of it is." I believe truly right now that we all need to do is to accept the truth of who we are as a country at this moment, grieve that very painful reality, and then act. So in terms of abortion, what is happening in our country? I'm gonna use some really big numbers, but I really want you guys to think when I say these numbers that these are all human beings that we are torturing right now by the policies in our country. In 2024, approximately 155,000 human beings were forced to cross state lines for abortion care. The number is staggering, and it's going up every year. Each of those people have their own story. The majority of those people are already parents, and they just don't have the money to feed one more mouth. Who are the top 4 states receiving people being forced to travel? Well, Illinois finds itself here at the epicenter of this public health care crisis. 35,000 people in 2024 came to our state. In North Carolina, it was over 16,000 people. In Kansas, it was also 16,000 people. In New Mexico, it was 13,000 people. And put that into comparison to where New York, which took about 6,000 people, and California, which only took in 2,700 people. So right where we are sitting is the epicenter of a public health care crisis. So why is Illinois like this? As Rabbi Lizzie said, it is because of a few very dedicated human beings that I have the lucky privilege of leading that decided that they were going to do something to change Illinois' fate. And in this moment, we have now changed the fate of hundreds of thousands of human beings in this country. We are a key access point to the South and Midwest because of both our geographic location and the efforts of our state government, our abortion providers, and support organizations like the one I run, who have worked tirelessly to create a robust infrastructure of expanded care and connect traveling patients with both funding and navigational support. So how did we get here? And the thing I also want to point out, that even before Roe fell, about 19,000 people came to Illinois every single year, because even though we had a federal constitutional right to have an abortion in this country, states were still limiting it and drastically hurting human beings. So Roe was never enough. So how did our politics get so broken? I, like many of you, knocked on a lot of doors before the presidential election, and what I heard over and over again from low to mid-income Americans was, it just doesn't matter who the president is. My life isn't getting any easier. These weren't people trying to usher me away from their doorstep. These were earnest human beings who were sharing their life struggles with me, a complete stranger. And many of us, including myself, have been sheltered from perspectives like these because of our privilege. I don't share this to shame anybody. I share it because in order to find lasting solutions to the nightmare we are living in, we have to sit with the truth. We have to sit with the discomfort that for far too many Americans, everyday life has gotten too hard. Too hard to pay the bills, too hard to find dignified, affordable housing, too hard to find healthcare coverage, and too hard for so many people to even find access to healthcare. So how did we get to a place where we were failing to meet the basic needs of the vast majority of Americans? Complacency, accepting the status quo, getting too comfortable, assuming progress would always continue, a political class of consultants and candidates who run the same outdated playbook without talking and centering the most impacted communities, and elected officials who sound like meek, poll-tested robots. So let's be clear. The right wing of this country, for them, abortion has always just been the tip of the iceberg. For decades, the anti-choice movement created a culture war that was never about abortion. It was always about controlling women's bodies. And why? The anti-abortion movement convinced us that women can't be trusted to make their own decisions. And when we do make our own decisions, we should feel shame about our choices and be silenced. I was one of those people. I had an abortion when I was 22 years old, and I didn't tell the truth to most human beings for at least, I would say, 7 to 8 years afterwards. They want us to feel that our controlling our own bodies is shameful and wrong. And to me, that sounds very similar to diet culture or excessive exercise culture that sees movement as punishment rather than pleasure, or mommy wars pitting working mothers against women who decide to stay home. It also sounds eerily similar to the horrendous violence and acts we are learning about in the Epstein files. All of it is about keeping women isolated, viewing women as disposable and controllable, and then making us feel that our bodies are dirty and shameful and something that must be controlled. Put simply, if women spend all of our time in shame spirals, just trying to survive, then we cannot put our creativity and energy to building ourselves and our communities and a country that is kind and equitable. So what does the right wing have in store for our country next? Just last month in January, the Heritage Foundation, which if you don't know, were the authors of Project 2025, that is now being inflicted on all of us in this country. That exact same group wrote what I'm calling Project 2026 and beyond. It is about how they want to save women and families. It is on their website. I had the joy of reading all 168 pages of it, and it reads as a dystopian nightmare. These are just a few highlights of what they have in store for the next generation. They want to dismantle policies and programs that help women afford higher education. And why? Because the report blames expanded access to higher education for women for people getting married later in life and having fewer children. I'm not making any of this up. You can find it on their website. They want to end no-fault divorce. The authors want divorce to be harder to access because it allows people to leave marriages without proving abuse or wrongdoing in court. It's very important to note that no-fault divorce has been linked to lower rates of gender-based violence and suicide among women. They want to end or limit access to birth control. And why? Because they want us to be forced to have babies, more babies, and have them younger. The report also attacks IVF, saying that it should be restricted and limited. And why? The report says that it leads to overall fewer children being born and women deciding to have children later in life. They also want to amend the tax code so that people who do not have children pay more in taxes, and those, it's true, $17,000 a year more, and those within heterosexual two-parent, males being the sole breadwinners in a family who have children before they are 30 get tax breaks. And why? Because the younger women who have children are less likely to attain higher levels of education, find meaningful work they are passionate about, and most importantly, they get trapped by the overwhelming reality of raising small children in a society that does not value our work. And it certainly won't help us get out on the streets and organize. Again, I know this is hard to hear, but it is reality of what they are actually trying to do, and we must face it, believe it, and act. What we have created in the reproductive health care system here in Illinois is not perfect, but it is a model that must be replicated throughout the country. We base our policy decisions on what providers and patients need. We then organize and educate and elect candidates up and down the ballot to champion our policies. And the result is beautiful. It is patient-centered, compassionate, and accessible abortion care. It is what every single human being deserves. Beyond this beautiful ecosystem, Personal PAC and I work across movements, standing shoulder to shoulder with the immigrant community, the LGBTQ+ community, environmental justice and labor movements, and many more. And we are pushing harder and building real power. We know that no one can divide us, and the only way through this is by standing together. So that is the truth from my perspective. I know this moment is hard. I know that it can feel like we can't take much more of this. I'm going to tell you it's going to get way worse. And I feel that it's overwhelming too, all of the time. But we have no choice. We need to turn toward each other, be brave enough to share our authentic life stories, and then demand that our leaders listen to us. And together, we we create a society that is more kind and equitable. So this is how I lead my life every day. I learn, I grieve, and I act. So there's so many ways to learn, and if you guys want to talk to me afterwards, I didn't want to come here with a long list of things, but follow independent journalists right now who are out there telling us the truth. Listen and center the people who are being most harmed by these policies. They have wisdom for us to learn. Do not stick your head in the sand and say, I just can't handle this. We have no choice. We have to go through this. And I dare you, when people say, oh, I'm just not doing politics right now, that is said from a place of extreme privilege. They are coming after all of us. That long list of things I said about the Heritage Foundation isn't just for low-income people. It is for all of us. And then I think the second thing we have to do is we have to grieve. I cry all the time. It is painful to learn the reality of who our leaders are. It is painful to be inundated by all of the violence being inflicted upon the most vulnerable people in our society. But I truly believe that once we feel it, we can never accept crumbs and complacency again. And we will never allow this to happen to anyone else. And we have to act. We have to vote on March 17th. And I would really, really encourage you to figure out who the true fighters are. For anyone, I only get involved in local elections, like state elections. I don't do federal elections. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on who you should vote for in federal elections, so happy to share them. Don't believe the commercials and see who's actually on the streets fighting with all of us. Those are the people we need to follow. And if you want to know who to vote for in local elections, like in state elections, I have a whole long list on my website, and I'm happy to share it out with anybody. Don't vote for people who speak in platitudes. Create a voting pod in your own community. They are going to try and scare us from not voting. That is what this is all about, all of the things about showing up and ICE being there. We just have to be brave and do it anyway. And share your stories. It is so powerful. We can take back our country if we are open and vulnerable of what it means to be a human being in this world. I cannot stress this enough. We cannot accept complacency or capitulation from our leaders or from ourselves. We owe that to our kids, to everybody's kids. My kids are watching me every day, and they ask me about the horrors happening around us. But I think what they're paying most attention to is how I respond to those horrors. And I would dare say that every child is paying attention to how we are responding. So I ask all of you, what do you want your kids and your grandkids to say about what you did in this moment? I know for me, I want my kids to know that I stood up, I told the truth, and I did everything I could to fix our broken systems and to build more beautiful ones, and that I fought to save every human being I could. And I hope you'll join me.
Can we all stand? Can I invite us to stand? Take out that little sheet that was tucked into your door. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing yourself, for sharing your Torah, for sharing your perspective, for sharing your expertise, for sharing the window that you have that none of us really wanted to hear, but I think we all know we needed to hear. We will not underestimate our power any longer. We know that together turn to 31. Aleno de Shabbat.
32.
Oh, 32, sorry. La Gedula Leo Bereshit. Shelo Asanu Kikwe Arasot. Velo Samanu Kimishpachot Ha'adama. Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem. Vekor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam. Ve'anachnu Korim. U'misachavim u'odim. Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim. HaKadosh Baruch.
To remain standing if you are observing a yard site or in a period of mourning.
And got a bunch of folks who are remembering somebody tonight, and I want to start in the back here with Ari.
So I'm not the best at public speaking, so I prepared some remarks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My mom and I were remembering my grandpa Sandy. Did you want me to see his name, or were you? Okay. Abraham Sanford Musiker, Avram Shmuel Ben Yeshua Aryeh Vishendel. He was a very generous man. Education was important to him. He was a former NYC public school teacher. This came across in the way that he hosted Passover Seders for us, and that he and my grandmother helped pay for my sister and I's college degrees. And just for fun, since it's topical, we shared a love for Caribbean and Latin American music and culture, so this past weekend, I'm sure he would have liked to watch the Super Bowl halftime show with us.
Yes.
And then another thing that was, of course, very important to him was Judaism and Jewish life, as he liked to say, Yiddishkeit. So I know he'd be happy that one of his grandchildren has gotten more involved in it. And as my mom previously mentioned, it happens to be about a year since I started coming to Mishkan, technically 13 months, so that'd be another 13 for you. And I thought it'd be nice to honor his memory by paying forward this generosity he had for both my family and the synagogues he went to by helping sponsor tonight's Kiddush. So thank you all for being part of this community. It's been great getting to know you. Thanks for being here tonight, especially my family who's joining for the first time. And may his memory be a blessing for all of us.
May his memory be a blessing. You want to just pass it to Kat? Thank you, Ari, and then we'll just share who it is that you're thinking about tonight. You don't have to give a whole speech. Thank you, Ari. Yeah.
Jake Hartman. My dad, Norm Singer. My mom, Shirley Lesson.
Jill Landau and Elliot Weiss.
My dad, Harry Schumann. My dad, Sal Zitlin.
My brother-in-law's brother, Lance Kasich.
I do have a little speech. I'm remembering my father, whose 25th yahrzeit was last month. I was in India, and on the very day of his yahrzeit, I was sailing down the Ganges River, watching the cremations of the people who had died. And once we left the cremation site, we went to another site where there was a Thanksgiving festival. And part of that was each person on our little boat got a candle enveloped in petals of flowers, which we lit and put into the Ganges River, our mother, to remember somebody. And I remembered my father that way.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I actually can't, I'm a therapist, and I'm remembering a client of mine, so I can't share the name.
All right. May their memory be a blessing. Yeah. Go ahead.
My dad, Herb Weintraub.
This is the 18th yahrzeit of my dad, Leonard Enti Laser Ben Hanava Asher.
Any other names? Yehi zichronam livracha. May all of their memories be great blessings. Mourner's Kaddish is on 34. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabba. Be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol shvei tevel v'imru amen, amen. May their memories all be blessings. Wow. You know, our services, nobody calls our services short. Nobody's like, what do you love about Mishkan? And they're like, oh, their services are quite brief. Nobody says that. Nobody's ever said that in the history of time. But this isn't a record, but it might be close. And I am not sorry. Because I'm so grateful, Devi, to you, and I'm so grateful, Sarah, to you, and I'm so grateful to this davening team, and I'm grateful to you, Ari. Thank you for nasherizing Kiddush and sharing with us a little bit about your grandfather. And I really deeply feel like as things get harder out there, we need to pray and love harder in here. And Friday night services, every so often, they might need to be 2 hours long. And now you can brag to your friends about how holy and pious you are. I daven so hard. It's so long on Friday night, you guys. But now, oh gosh, we get to eat and we get to break bread. And I really want to invite you to look around the room and pick a person who you did not come here with tonight, who you don't know, who you intend to say hello to, and introduce yourself and find out who they are, while eating a knob of whatever delicious thing is in the other room. Thank you, Gail, for baking gluten-free challah, which is sitting over there apparently. Amazing. Well marked, so the gluten-free people can get at it first. Yes? Amazing. Shall we bless and break bread? Let's do it. I want to invite folks to stand. Somebody want to hold this? All right, yeah. Just get challahs going in different directions here. All right, if folks want to sing Kiddush with me, it is on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemigra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta im kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
Gonna reveal the challah.
Oh, hey. It's pre-sliced.
Reach towards somebody who's reaching towards somebody who's reaching towards the challah, acknowledging all the hands that went into making this food and this evening, and we'll bless it together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos. Send that challah around. The food is in the other room, right where Debbie is opening that door. Do we want to keep singing? Do you want to we rise? Do you want to? Yes. All right.